We're in. I hope. Hello, stream. Hi. This caught us all off guard. We didn't think this game was being played because everyone was just doing absolute shenanigans in the map page. If you're just joining us, this is the upper bracket final for the Div 1. And yeah, bonus content, I'm guessing. Everyone is tagged up differently. Everybody is all over the place. I don't even know how to pronounce one of the team's name. It's going to be a good old time. All I know is it's Pappy's team and then the other. Who's on this team? Oh, it's Shio and all them lot. Okay. The Varnu team, got you. All right, so what's happening here? So it's 0-0 so far. We've got a Granary stalemate on the yard area, El Clasico, and right now they're trying to bust it over on the side of Varnu and company. And oh, they actually exchange Ubers, even though there's a sniper happening in the mix. It does give the advantage a little bit to the. Is it Sammakot team? And yeah, during all of this chaos, when they're just bringing in all their fighters, that sniper doesn't really do much, so they just kind of take the fight almost like a 5v6. So yeah, this is really good plan, set, and match for this point at least, and now they're trying to snowball it off with just all the pieces they have remaining. They're going to get the second point already up. Pappy's already got this area on lockdown. What a pretty cool Div 1 player. We should maybe get that guy to Prem as soon as possible. I kid. I'm going to leave all the match page stuff to the TF2L admins and the players. Leon jumping in, Leon dying out, as they just want to get somebody involved to maybe get Shio's Uber his life down, because he hasn't even come back to with an Uber charge just yet. They have an Uber charge. Auto should be kind of rallying up all his troops ready to make this, but I guess instead they thought that they had the Uber charges even. Well, they've learned the hard way. Mist goes down. Scout's still in the fight, but still healthy enough. Are they leaving their boy to die? Saving Private, what's his fate? There we go. Doram will go down. Dure, should I say, goes down instead. And they're trying to push from ramp room, lunchbox, and the traps are going to be there though. They already have it locked down. Lander is on the case. It should allow Black to maybe get in from top, get some good headway into. He actually gets a scout kill. I was expecting a Shio kill instead, but doesn't quite work out. So that is still a 1-for-1 trade. So not the worst situation in the world for Pappy and company. They're just hanging out in yard so far. Pappy is just kind of peppering around Z. They're just trying to force the point with spam, and they've actually popped off the Uber. They really don't want to lose Ox during all of this, so they respond on auto, and they did lose Pappy during all of that, so they're probably not feeling too confident here, especially because there's one scout, Varnu, pushing out the other scout. I think that was missed, so they're just going to clear out here. Who can I switch to that I know the name of? There we go. Alright, so Mist pressured out, jumped by Ox. He's going to get rebuffed in. They're recommitting into the fight. I'm surprised they're sticking around for this long because their entire flank has been disabled by Varnu. Varnu probably could have got even a better flank off if he wasn't taunting the enemy team at the moment. But Sailor V, the critical morale kill, hurts more than any sort of actual kill in the game. So they're stacking the point. They might deny spawns. No, they won't deny spawns. So Black and High will come up to the world of the living. They have a an Uber advantage on this team now. I'm going to quickly check the. Oh my God, it's in Chinese or Japanese or something. I'm not saying that, chat. Okay, they're called red team, blue team, blue team. We're calling them blue team. So blue team. It's up to them to do the play at the moment. They have the respawn advantage by having mid, so really it's kind of up to them to see what they want to play with. And it's 0-0, so it's pretty intense. So I can see players playing things very slowly, extremely slowly even.
Do I not get the day off? Fuck. The game actually happening?
Not Steven just barreling into the studio. Hi, welcome, sir. We'll get you all set up. In the meantime, Ox has cut you off because he's just got to pick onto High. So High is down on this yard. This makes the right hand side a little bit weak. Black is on his own, and I think he has to back off as well. They're trying to see if they can get through the mid door, though, over on blue team. And now they've decided to kind of pressure out black. But it's a little too late for my liking. He's actually going to get... Oh, no, he isn't going to get out. But they retreat everyone back. And with 2 people down, including a demo man, they can just re-enter back in. Maybe the play here is to get for the back cap. Ox realizes this. He's already going towards the point now, trying to put a lock on the door. Throw away the key. They're getting flanked from the back door, though, and they have to pop off the Uber. They milk it for so long over on Auto and company, and kind of surrounded by everyone, and it's a little bit dicey. Somehow Shio gets out of all of that chaos. Ox is way too committed in for my liking. I don't know what he was trying to make a play of there, because everybody else on blue team is out of the fight. And yeah, now this mid is up for contention.
Well, I don't have too much to say because I've just loaded into the STV, but it looks like the red team is barreling in here, managing to get a lot of pressure onto mid. There is a little bit of contest from all sides, and they do have to back out in the end.
Vanu, he's actually managed to squeeze himself behind. You know, any scout that gets in behind is ever so annoying on a map like Granary. They have to deal with it. The back cap potential is too high. So they go back. Vanu decides to go down kicking rather than go down capping. So he tries to take the life. Doesn't quite work out. But mission complete. He's brought everybody back from Sammakot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the play you want to make it happen, right? It's a lot easier. Sammakot. Yeah, we'll get the names right eventually.
Look, I am not taking any pressure from this game whatsoever. I was literally launched in mid-pub.
Mid-pub, you were more ready than I am, and Vanu is super ready because he is on this spy class here, not even on the cloak and dagger, just on the invis watch. Is going to be looking for a stab here onto Auto. Decloaks now. What can he get? Auto turns around. Can the pistol find the kill?
He gets him! He gets the drum kill! Oh, drum solo for the lad. Gets the pivotal kill. Now they only have 1 mission. They have to keep Shio alive from any sort of resistance. Very easy on a map like Granary because there's only 2 stinking doors.
Yeah, there's not a huge amount of pressure coming in through any of these doors here, so I think they're pretty relaxed here. There is just a Pappy kind of trying to pressure and prod a little bit, but decides to make a better of it and just a run out here. And now this is going to be a full Uber advantage to take into last here for the side of China. I don't know what you've been calling them throughout this game, but that's kind of what
I called him blue team, so yeah. Just keep... I am going to try and learn Chinese or Japanese at this rate, so...
Yeah, you might as well. It might make the games a little bit easier here. One soldier very aggressive up top here. If he's not careful, might get picked out. Luckily, does not for now. And they're really taking their time, just making sure they get a good set up here. Auto already on 60%, has been building quite well. So that is a threat if they do really take too much longer here. I'm not too sure what they're waiting for.
They're waiting for the demo man. Waiting for the demo man. It took so long. He's back here now, the loving arms of his medic, but in all that loving, he's kind of wasted a bit of time they could be going with the Uber push. So now, too much time has passed. I think they might have to just kind of play things a bit slower now. And yeah, throwing in a soldier, seeing if they can get on top of the medic. That's nice drop. Very good bomb coming out from Ox. Very good from Doraemon to kind of distract that sentry gun, distract the eyes of 5 players. Surely they should have seen coming that the first soldier usually isn't the last.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Auto had noticed that completely. He seemed like he was dodging around. He was fully aware of those soldiers, but just 2 lovely rockets from Ox just kind of caught him off guard there. And now that's a huge drop here for the side of China. And, you know, we expect for their next push them to be kind of barreling in here. But how many Granary last pushes have I seen failed recently? Far too many. We'll see if they can change anything here. Looks like it's going to be an aggressive left side push. Uber is used straight away. Need to get onto that gun here. Demo man fails to jump a little bit, so it's going to be quite slow. The gun only going down now. What more picks can they get? Good bombs coming in straight onto that soldier. Medic goes down as well, so at bare minimum there should be an Uber advantage, but this medic Gio all left alone here. It's so awkward. 2 scouts will lose their life in the end. It is going to be sammakot managing to cap up this second point as well.
Yeah, I think it started off with a little bit of greed, trying to get the... They did get the Pappy kill at the start, but in giving that sort of kill away, they lost a scout over on the left-hand side pretty early. And while they did take out the heavy weapons guy, you had that engineer early at the start. It's going to be rotating back as scout and just kind of coming back the reinforcements for all that fighting. And yeah, it was just too much spent, I would say, for an Uber charge. Not enough sort of output.
Yeah, it started off super solid. I think it was the right idea, and then those soldier bombs came in super clutch. However, the scouts just not having the longevity. I think the Uber didn't really get enough positioning for them overall, and now, yeah, sent all the way back to mid. And now it's a little bit awkward as the Ubers do build up, but we are kind of coming to them. What do you expect to see here? Do you expect to see the side of sammakot maybe try to go for something aggressive, where usually we would see the team who pushes from mid into second maybe taking that?
No, too much time has passed. It's now back to, again, China, I guess as you like to call them, would need to kind of make a play. I don't think the spy is going to work twice in a row, so they need to get the creative juices flowing again.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. The spy can sometimes work twice, but they did just try to send in a derailment bomb. Did not work out how they wanted it to, unfortunately. So opens a little window of opportunity if they want to try to get something happening, a little bit of pressure going in here and there, but nothing really too much. There's just a Pappy looking up in the sky as well for a second. Not sure what he was
they've
looking
got
at.
Varnu going all the way back. He's rocking the sniper class. That is his weapon of choice for breaking up the stalemate. Although pretty difficult, if I do say so myself, to kind of get an effective snipe on this part of the map. But I mean, there's literally right side. I'm not sure if you can really pull it off in ramp room. We'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just about getting that opening pick and opening up some space. If you can do that, you can get a soldier in much more easily here. Doesn't miss that first crucial headshot, so now they know he's on sniper. Does take a little bit of space in garage now, so maybe, yeah, you were saying they don't think they'll get much in ramp room, but this is kind of where they're preferring a little bit. Get some more awkward sight lines onto 150 onto a scout. Still not quite enough as they're holding super close here. Ooh, taking it down very low as a demo man as well. These shots are a little bit scary here. It only takes one to really get things started. They're not really looking at choke too much.
It's the pub police, but this happened to them last time. They pop off Uber early over on sammakot, and then they just take the fight from that point. It's going much better this time, however, for China. Okay, I've spoke way too soon. The lack of scout is finally hurting them now, and yeah, it hurts the soul a little bit. They do have Varnu back on sniper again. Is that the? I remember that. That's like, what's that sniper called?
I can't even remember. You just never see it. Oh, this is tragic. Oh, it's a classic. We have someone in here who actually plays the game, apparently. Yeah, the classic comes out. An interesting choice here, but we do see that China push all the way back onto last, and because of that, they got a really nice Uber from sammakot, managed to take down the sniper instantly, and then just kind of rolled things through with one soldier going behind here. Uber advantage is towards the side of sammakot here as well, so we'll see what they can do here, see if they can make any sort of difference. Doesn't look like they're going to get Uber instantly here, so this is going to be an Uber advantage push here.
So pop the Uber, they take out the sentry gun, they've already got the soldiers on the top pipe, trying to pressure that heavy weapons guy. He switches off instantaneously, abusing that forward spawn, and it's like 3 lives are being dealt out by just one Varnu. What value?
Yeah, not really what you'd want here. Medic staying alive, out of danger completely during that fight. So now Zio going to be having the 100% Uber advantage. They're going to want to take this into mid here, but how are they going to take it? They're going to take it in through garage, in through choke. It seems like it's very dangerous. These stickies finally called out. I was going to say, haven't been called. This could be very scary for the side of China coming in here. A soldier bomb is high. This is going to be the sack, trying to get onto the medic, but doesn't even see him. Has to back out here. The damage may be done a little bit. No, loses his life in the end, does Pappy. So will be the blue team taking the point for free here. Still have a reasonable advantage if they want to push the issue though.
Yeah, a lot of time is being taken away from China to actually make this Uber effective. It's just such a long map, so they have so much ground they can just kind of feed them slowly over on sammakot to delay things, and yeah, they have got their own Uber charge now, ready for the second defense.
Yeah, so this makes it a lot harder here. This soldier spamming from point makes you think they're not going to do that traditional sack from up top. They maybe just need to reset a little bit and kind of poke and prod around and see where it's going to work best for coming in. There's the 2 soldiers that are up top now. This should be the sack from top. Usually one soldier, a lot of spam comes in early to try to get this guy knocked down, but it doesn't look like it's working. The soldier just jumps in, is juggled around so much. Can he get anything? No, derailment unfortunately cannot find that crucial rocket to get that demo man pick. So now sammakot can take a little more aggressive positioning. Look at this, they're very aggressive through lunchbox here. Might want to just go for a bust. 4 players just through this door against 1 soldier. This is going to be so difficult here to do anything, and they're just kind of having to back out and giving a little bit of space. If they wanted to go for a flank here on sammakot, they definitely could, but there are patrols from here, there, and everywhere, and it's very hard to push it as second into yard here, and they just back out.
Yeah, they realised that they went fishing over on that right-hand side. Doesn't quite bite, so instead just backing out, try not to outstay their welcome. The longer you just kind of fish around there, the more likely that something's going to get slipped through one of these doors, or Demo Man is actually challenged on that shutter.
Yeah, all it takes is really 1 pick to open things up. If you get through that shutter, you get a scout or you get a soldier. You can really kind of get things going from there. And I think that's what they were looking for that sort of play. They never really pushed their positioning too hard. And I think that was kind of the right play there from sammakot, playing it smart so far. But with only 8 minutes remaining on the clock and 0-0 on the scoreboard, you'd think they need to start getting things moving here on either side.
Yeah, Vanu is in. He really wants the scout kill. Goes back to the waiting arms of his medic, and I don't know, that was a little greedy for my liking. Pappy does give them a lifeline by going down now, so this keeps the hope in the hearts of China to maybe still make the second push work.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of smart play here. We see Auto is playing super far back. High, however, gets taken out on that little flank. This could be a bit of a golden opportunity as they have so much space on high ground here. Just need to find a spam pick here. Coordinate a bit of their spam. Zio up top, though, is in a scary position if anyone did just jump through, but enough players around just to protect them here. And we'll see now how they want to kind of approach this last. They did a good job of slowly just busting things through, played well off of that 1 pick. But now coming up to even Ubers, can they make lightning strike twice and get that crucial drop onto
nice
once
headshot. Oh, can't quite get the crossbow onto Pappy before he lands and craters onto the floor, however. And with Vanu going down to a trap, that might spell curtains for this push. They even lose Ox on the push as well. Will trade out his life, but again, just too many players being spent.
Oh, that was scary. They wanted to stay in a little bit there because Auto was piped there, but a bit of an overextension. Uber does come out. I don't think they can even get the force. Oh no, the force does eventually come out here, but this is going to be such a good chase onto this medic. If they can find the shots here, it'll be so good. No, can't do it. That Uber lasts so long here. Silver lining. They will get the point for now, so is it going to slow down China for this repush they're trying to get in now?
Yeah, that worked out quite nicely. It could have gone a lot worse with those sort of flanking demo men setting up those traps behind you, but everyone was milking it for so long, really, and it's miraculous no one died there.
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams just kind of played that well, played their repositioning pretty much to perfection here, but these things just are not going right for either team. It feels like they make a little bit of progress in one direction and then just kind of push steadily back. And we are back to what feels like a bit of a classic Granary game where things end up being quite slow and methodical, and no team can really get a grip on things. You just need to, find something crucial like a drop or a big demo man kill to get things started. And neither team playing aggressive enough for that to happen quite yet.
Yeah, the weakness is going to come from Pappy in this top area. There's just, when one soldier's got a medic and the other has not, how can you really hold on to that for too long? So instead backs off, gives some sort of room to that soldier to breathe, and instead allows Ox to overextend himself and go down.
Looks like they want to take a trade here. Aggressive positioning from Zio, but they don't trade back here. Auto is keeping the Uber in for now. This scout needs to try to get in and do something here, but it doesn't look like anyone can get anywhere near Auto. This is a Prem winner experience here, knowing when to take those trades, knowing when to milk your Uber. This is absolutely huge here.
Oh, that could have been gone a bit hairy there. Auto was trapped in the little box with the scout for a moment, but it does work out. And yeah, I think that was just questioning tradition. Usually if you pop Uber, you see the enemy team who just pops their Uber straight back, but Auto says no to this. He just decides to take the scout taxi back all the way out. He doesn't care if his soldier dies. He's dying for the cause,
Yeah, it didn't even matter in the end. His damage, was going to be negligible in the rest of that fight, and they managed to clean up on the rest of the people who were chasing it deep, trying to get onto Auto, trying to force that Uber. But yeah, no one manages to find it in the end. And now full Uber coming in onto second here, and now we've managed to basically go coast to coast.
Yep, second point on a lockdown. The threat of the Uber charge has to just force China's hand to get back to last. They pop off Uber very early now. They're in so much ground. They do force out the enemy Uber, who spent a lot of time kind of giving ground to get their Uber back up. Shio will pop off, and yeah, they do lose a few casualties, but if they can hold on second, this still can be good for the rest of Sammakot.
Yeah, and they are kind of positioning themselves a little bit aggressive here, looking like they might want to keep trading the spam point so close to being capped. So that will be one little thing for China coming in here. But now it's so hard to try to push out, and they must feel so on the back foot now after they've been able to play so aggressive. They actually making a lot of space here in through Lunchbox, trying to get in, find the pick, but can't find anything either. Have to back it out all the way. But Demo Man still trying to spam through, trying to find a pipe onto the medic, a pipe onto the Demo Man. Just anything they can do. They're doing a good job of trying to get in through all the doors. There's also a soldier up top here who you can't forget about.
Man, they're really towing the line here between their combat classes. Pappy and Leon just kind of rotating around circles, and Auto has to stressfully heal them all the way around this evil ring of roses. And yeah, they do lose a scout, but that was just kind of a Hail Mary, throw a scout in, see if you can kind of get a Pasta Master out on top of somebody, but not quite working. They do get the second point just by overwhelming, getting that early Doman pick. They're already in last for 3, not using the Uber charge just yet. They kind of want to force their hand by either getting picks or forcing the medic himself. He does get Pappy, a good kill onto Shio, and now they can use their own Uber charge. It's a free Uber. You get an Uber. You get an Uber. Everyone's feeling good in this Uber on the side of Sammakot. There is a heavy weapons guy, but he's just not got the splash to deal with 4 players. Yeah, Steven.
Oh, that was really unfortunate. First Soldier Bomb came in, did a good amount of damage to Zio, and then was obviously looking at Pappy bombing in, but did not want to force that Uber, and in the end, that was the end of their life there, and the end of that round.
Oh.
It was going to be an awkward situation either way, right? But I feel like you just want to use that Uber and maybe try to take those trades, take some kills, let Vanu come up on the heavy and be able to clean up in the post. I don't know, it was difficult, but now China down 1-0, 2 minutes remaining. They need to make this mid work out well.
Yeah, it hurts the soul. They've got 2 minutes left. That's not really a long time in a game of Granary, but they are actually going all in, putting all the chips down in that corner, and the chips are falling. They're dying, and they do get Shio during all of that chaos. So the snowball has been kind of dampened a bit over on China, but I mean, there's something to work with here.
Yeah, there's definitely some pieces of the puzzle coming together, but unfortunately I think they're missing a corner piece to really start things out. This just makes it so much harder to get back into the game, especially with Auto living here. If Auto died, you're going to get second pretty much for free, but now with all these buff players playing close and the threat of an Uber coming in, they need to play things fast here. I expect them just to kind of build up this Uber. Oh, it's a Kritzkrieg actually. They're going to build up this Kritzkrieg and then probably take it in, try to get that crucial medic pick, but where do you go from this? I can only think you just kind of turn the corner on Shutter.
This is going to be an extreme sort of crits. I mean, you are challenging basically. Oh my god, they just Uber out. I think they must be aware that there's a crits in play and they can't really do anything against this Uber. Double scout, chariot straight out. Crits comes out now. They get the kill onto Mist, and it's about this second sticky. Can he find someone? He finds Leon. That's a good pick. So they can keep chasing with this now. They can feel it. Mist. I mean, I don't even know how to say that scout name, but yeah, they're feeling good. They can start moving in a second. And the snowballing. High's going to go down. Black's going to go down. Auto's on his own. He's taking matters into his own hand. Use your head. The bust. He actually managed to get a kill and save his own life. Allows to keep Mist out. They throw a soldier in. He's keeping his teammates alive. The difference Auto is major in this. What a Div 1 player.
Yeah, what a clutch that came up there from Auto to get that pick. They were looking so good. They just needed to kind of maybe play it slower for a couple of seconds. They were so keen to kind of take some space on there. But without your scout being there, it's really, really difficult. And they do manage to win that first map on Sammakot. But it's a close 1-0, and for the pedigree of some of these players here, I mean, maybe it's a little closer than you'd like it. I mean, you were saying you don't even have to say the names of some of these players. That's how new school a lot of them are. Is definitely, yeah, definitely the new wave of players on the side of China.
I mean, it was close. It was a real nail biter of a game. It came down to just some decisive bombs, and I think a lot of the game was spent of this sort of medic versus medic poker face maximum milking situations and whatnot. There was a couple of outplays where it looked like Auto just had a better read of what was better to hold on to compared to Shio. So c'est la vie, c'est la vie. But yeah, this is a competitive game. I'm very excited to see what happens for this map too.
Well, the question is, do we know anything about what the next map is?
This is casting, cowboy style. You basically get thrown in. I don't even know what's on the job. I don't know the people. I don't know the names, but
that's okay. Samus has come in clutch in the background, hasn't told us what the other two maps are. It's going to be Snakewater coming up next here.
Okay. Snake and Metalworks. I mean, it could be in a different order, but let's see what the players change to. Make it exciting here, Stephen.
I mean, if you're a zoomer, you want to play the fast maps. And what comes to mind when I think of fast map? I think Snakewater. I think this is a map they're probably very, very comfortable with. Granary, it's kind of that slower, more methodical map that I think maybe suits the style. Sammakot, a little bit better here, but I think obviously both teams very proficient at it. But I think Snakewater, if I had to hedge my bets here, as we are changing level to it, it's probably the pick of China.
All right, I'm looking at the logs whilst we're loading up things, and I need to download myself a Pappy VOD because I don't know how it looks like the most plain gameplay of Soldier I've seen. I mean, there was highlight moments and all this stuff, but this man always finds like 9k damage, 10k damage in every single game. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I've watched many a Pappy VOD, and you're just like, I don't understand how he's doing so much, but it's just solid, consistent damage from him a lot of the time.
It's like he's just, it's not even like he's like beasting kills. He's not even getting like, he's getting a decent chunk of the heals actually. Okay, all right, maybe I'll scale back my opinion ever so.
26%, yeah, he's definitely spamming things pretty hard there. I mean, it's a soldier map, right?
Yeah, it is Granary, I suppose. Map. But I think this is just more my personal vendetta with him, when I just like pull up a random, like, say like a product map or something, and he's got like top damage, and I'm like, how the hell, in what universe does this happen? And I can't get it to work.
He's simply just better. It's the Pappy diff. There's something about him.
Yeah.
I think just good decision making.
I mean,
playing well around the team.
Oxa was having some good moments as well. Again, maybe just that, like you said, that soldier class being highlighted a bit. The demo man's crying a soulful single tear past their cheek as they have to just resign themselves to watching Shutter Door, and nobody pushes Shutter Door because it's very high div and no one dares.
Yeah, I mean, you push Shutter Door, you're getting instantly dead on, and it happens. I mean, it's a map like Product when you don't want to push Cliffside when they're forward holding, because you will just die. People, occasionally are like, but what if he's not watching it? And then he's always watching it, and you always manage to die and get crumbled. So I think it's a smart idea. But yeah, the demo men obviously both struggling a little bit there overall. But yeah, definitely a more soldier-centric map, and I think both those teams played reasonably soldier-centric, and it'll be interesting to see how it comes into Snakewater, because I feel actually this map can be pretty soldier-centric, except for last, where you see it be a little more difficult. Obviously, holding, very soldier-centric, but pushing into that last. A lot of it's on your demo man and scout, right? But for the rest of the map, I think your soldiers like are super, super impactful. And yeah, as you were saying, Ox is keeping up. So can he be the difference maker? Can he best Pappy here, do you reckon?
Yeah, what can I say about Snakewater? I'm right. I think I agree with you. There's a lot of work that can be done by soldiers on this map at all points. Like, obviously, they're very crucial as like the keen super blockers that can quickly get to that Snakewater, the infamous sort of last. That what makes it so hard is just those soldiers kind of coming in, those stickies obviously denying out, and obviously those mids can go in a way that I think you'll see a lot of territorial play out of soldiers. And what I mean by that is they're not so much kind of committing in their life. They're more like trying to lock down certain areas, and how aggressive those areas is how aggressive that team is. For example, if you jumping behind them as a soldier and trying to lock down their health pack, I think this is usually the play of Pappy teams. I think Pappy does like playing the enemy health pack a lot in that sawmill area. And yeah, I've been saying it a bit more with roaming soldiers as well, where they try to go behind. And now it's not even so much about like directly going in and just feeding your life and doing the most damage possible, because it just might get healed up by a crossbow. It's about just seeing if we can stop those medics getting out and just coming out the attack from different angles.
When you said territorial, all I could think of is you're making a David Attenborough documentary, just kind of wildlife. About the soldiers and their different habitats.
Stephen, please, there's two wolves fighting inside me right now. There's one saying do the impression and one saying don't do the impression. Please don't make me.
Hey, if Wolf was here, I know what he would tell you to do, and he's the only wolf that matters in the TF2 community.
And here we have. No, I can't do it. Stop it.
I'll tell you that as a bare minimum.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the game unfolds. Maybe if things get really slow, I'll bring out Sir David. He's a good friend of mine. He's right here next to me.
I can imagine him just sitting in the casting booth, getting all excited about a close game. You know, Auto having a big drop. Oh, he'd love it. But what do you think we can expect from these teams coming into Snakewater? I did have a little look at kind of the games that these teams have played in season. Actually, it was probably the side of China that picked Granary, because they won it 5-1. Obviously, a much tougher game here. So maybe the pick of Sammakot. So it might be feeling a lot stronger than maybe I would think. And, you know, I can play all sorts of mental gymnastics, but it maybe favors that team who has the set mids a lot more. I feel, and play really well around their medic, and I think maybe.
I mean, yeah, I think usually if you're cozy on a map, you just kind of know all the situations and what's happening, and you just feel good on it. Usually, honestly, it's every team has their own sort of picking habits of why they think is good. I can tell you right now, they're not picking because of who's the enemy team. They're literally just picking what feels good to them. I don't think at this level they're like, man, we can't play this map because Pappy is like godlike on this map and we can't do it like this, and Auto, his favorite map is this. No. They are literally just like, oh wow, I like this map. Should we play this map? Cool.
Yeah, I think that is about as deep as the thinking goes, right? You're like, do I like this map? Yeah, this is a pretty fun map, guys. We're pretty good at it. Did we beat them in season? Yeah, we should probably pick
I don't think there's many maps where people go, wow, I really like this map, but God, are we bad at it? And then it just doesn't happen. So I think usually 9 times out of 10, if you're liking a map or you're feeling good on the map, you're probably pretty good on the map. Or your team's getting good results.
Yeah, probably right. But surely what we've learned is that you always win the enemy team's map, right?
Yeah, it has followed that trend of recent. Before I used to give a lot of credence about like, oh well, they've got the map pick and then they're feeling, and I think that still comes into the mental a bit, just because that's how you think that goes. But when you look at the data, everybody just beefs their map picks of recent.
Yeah, I think, you know, you get to this sort of level, all the teams are very comfortable on most maps. I don't think there's actually that huge of a difference, as we saw with, you know, that super close 1-0. It came down to the tiniest of things. So you'd expect both teams to feel pretty comfortable on both maps. And a lot of the time, it does come down to those core mechanics at the very end of things. So if you're kind of playing really well as a team, you can probably win any map. Obviously, it's slightly different on COF maps, but I think it still kind of follows the same rule overall.
All right, I've got a point of topic right here, Stephen. You know, a contention that was cast as battle every day. This blue scout over on China that isn't Vanu. In what God's green earth do you say that name? Did he not just literally his keyboard and then like that's his name?
I believe it's a Ruidar. Most people will just call him Ruad because, yeah, I think you're not alone in your struggle to pronounce his name.
Every day I get grief from all of you Twitch chat telling me like I'm saying all these names wrong, and yet some of these names I swear they're just giga hard to like figure out how on earth you interpret them.
I think you should say Pappy's name.
Oh no. Let's not open that can of worms, okay?
That's looking very French.
I mean, the fact that I'm able to overpower the teleprompter and not say what's just on the screen is already a testament to this game already. So let's just take our small victories and just cash in.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else's name is too hard here. But luckily, I think you're pretty safe and sound overall.
You know,
so.
I'm a big fan of Black. He is just literally just a very simple name. Something I can get behind. Leon, Auto. Now these are names I'm loving.
Oh, I can't forget about Ox.
Ox
That's
again,
great,
yeah, Ox. That's a top tier
name.
Lander, top tier name. This is when you start bringing out the X's. That's when I'm like, oh boy, no.
It's a little too complicated.
Yeah, then the vocabulary guys get pulled out of Twitch. Like, actually, Turbo, it's actually spelt Shao, as in Shaolin. You don't say Shio, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I think we should have a big document of how to pronounce names.
Yeah, and then when I learn to say your names, like Cough, they rebrand themselves, and then they're like Moralexi now, and I'm mad.
It's very difficult. Right, why don't we go into some little predictions here? Obviously, we saw that first map that closed at 1-0. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'm going to go with the team with the Prem players on it. So, of course, that's going to be Shio, it's going to be Vanu, it's going to be Ox. These are all players that have played at a higher level Premiership level.
There you go.
There you go. You didn't see that coming?
I did not see that coming, actually. That was a bit of a twist that I was not seeing coming, but what I do see coming is the start to this first mid on Snakewater. Why don't you take us away?
All right, first thing I'm seeing on mid already is teams taking their sweet time. Nobody really jumping across the pot. Okay, lies. Doraemon is straight across, and they throw in Ox as well, immediately taking Auto out of the thing. Even Shio somehow made it across. The Shaolin just walking alongside his team. I've never seen a medic go across the point so quickly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was watching, I was like, oh, great bombs from the soldier, and then I just see Zio surfing into their lower. Oh, Vanu loses it. That's tragic.
No, Vanu tapped out. He's like, I can't do this. I need the health pack, and he gets punished for his crimes.
Well, as you should. You got to take an honourable 1v1 there, and he did not take that at all here. However, but back to the game a little bit. We are seeing even Ubers coming out here, but there is maybe time for a dry push as they are kind of repositioning into this lower area already. Going to be putting some pressure down. We'll see if they can do anything here on sammakot. Like, can they find an early pick? Can they find early spam? There is always this pressure from Saw that this soldier might jump through window and just do something silly and aggressive, and they've just taken so much ground in through grass here. Auto is fully out of the doors here, so in a risky position. Black is that first casualty, however, so it will be the rest of sammakot just backing things out here. They do take down 2 players during all of this, so actually there is a slight advantage just coming back in if you are on the side of sammakot.
Yeah,
they just take it for free.
Yeah, while the grass was exchanging mean looks to one another, Pappy was fighting for his life hidden over in the sawmill. He had a soldier, he had a scout on his plate. It's a good thing that Black came to save the day and give a little bit of reassurance and assistance. Leon goes down to the forward trap. We should have seen that coming, but I mean, no medic loss, no great disadvantage, I suppose.
Yeah, they just trade 1 for 1 in the end there, pretty much. Leon will be coming up now along with High. Potentially, we see a sniper coming out from High. I'm rubbing my magic 8-ball, and it was wrong this time. They do stay on Cookie Cutter, so maybe feeling better about just having these soldier pushes in through a doorway. Obviously have to deal with that sentry gun that is getting built up slowly on lower here. Only level 1 at the moment, which is a little bit scary. It does upgrade it now, but we'll see what sammakot wants to do.
No, now that we've got a bit of a quiet time, I'm going to share a quick PSA to all those engineers out there. You see that dispenser? You see how far away it is? Just ever so slightly from the lip. If you could bring that just a little bit closer, a soldier doesn't have to go on the wood to get ammo. So, but see, Ox has to climb up there like a caveman, up through 4 inches of snow across 20 miles to get some spam ammo. This is just a minor grievance for me.
I mean, he might as well be taking a trek on Everest for that, surely.
it's just about the little things, and I thought maybe be the change, start with the man in the mirror and his massive audience of 100 people.
Be the change you want to be here. We do see a banner up here on the side of Ox. He does manage to get first pick onto black as well, so not gonna be an aggressive pick here, but having this banner kind of gives you, that extra health here during this fight. Having that conch coming up, and he's been doing so much spam, I'd expect him to have full conch. I can't see it on my HUD.
Yeah, it's 100% right now.
Yeah, so this conch just gives you so much sustain in those post Ubers. So if you do have that Uber exchange they might just decide to do on Sammakot, if you keep that soldier alive and he just blows the magic conch, you just all get healing around him, right? And then that sustain should keep you alive in that post Uber. So a really smart play. Obviously we see battalions back up, but that's now banned.
Yeah, you get all that speed boost as well. Maybe even too much speed. I feel like it's illegal to have that much kind of zooming about and soldier, and I just can't hit my rockets the same anymore.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit careful. It's a little disorientating, but I think, overall an advantage there. It's also harder to hit you overall. We do see black on the sniper playing far back, so this is kind of their first attempt at trying to get a play working. They've been playing a lot of spamming through lower, but it's not really been working. They're kind of hoping someone just peeks up this top right area, but they're playing it very, very disciplined so far on the side of China.
And Ruad is just staring at the bottom door, so black is not really going to meet then cross paths with the enemy sniper. So, we actually might do now on the shutter door. Body shot hurts even more than a regular headshot. So this gets a bit of a license to play a bit more aggro. Now you've got no counter sniper. The only thing that can really stop you is these bombing soldiers. He goes around the corner, and speaking of, the bombing soldier gets him.
Yeah, it just kind of gets cleaned up pretty quick there. There's a lot of spam still coming out from those shutter doors from Pappy during all this, but not able to really get anything working here. Has to back out quite a bit there as he was pressured a lot by Raymond, eventually picked out by Ruad. But in the end of things, they just trade 1 for 1. But now, a minute 15 on the clock. We are getting to that time where you're just looking to say, do we just Uber exchange here, guys? Because otherwise a round reset is going to come through. Demingman comes in for a sack first. He is sent super high here. Can anyone take him out? He's surviving for so long. Landa eventually does. High also dies. Zio was hiding under that little cubby, hoping that their life is not ended right there. And they managed to survive just for a little bit longer here. But now we're definitely in Uber exchange territory, right? This is last push avenue.
So they bring the soldiers in the top lobby, maybe baiting out a push, maybe an overextension in the lobby area, and then taking fights from henceforth. Mist does manage to get a cheeky kill into the demo man, and this could afford them a lot of room to work with now. They just pop off Uber. Demo man isn't going to be in the fight for about 12 seconds, but at least a good portion of those seconds are going to be on Shio's Uber, so that's all calmed down in that sense, and the demo man is back to the world of living.
Yeah, that conch was pulled out during that, and I don't think it was really at the appropriate time. Maybe a little too early. Landa is chased down into spawn. They're taking a lot of space on the left, but there's Heavy doing so much. Soldier bombs come in here. Can they close things out here to get this round reset? It looks like they should be able to, as the clock ticks down to 0 seconds. We're going to overtime, but that won't last. We're back into a stalemate. Oh, we're definitely on Snakewater here.
I mean, the appropriate response, I guess, when you're on a last point like that, it is like claiming back 2 instantaneous points. So let's see if they can kind of get their ducks in order on their mid-fights. The mid-fight went pretty well for them, all things considered, even though they lost out in the long portion of it. The short fight went really well for China.
Yeah, those bombs were super, super solid from them. See if they can do it again. We do see a couple high bombs coming out from either side here. This is good so far. Zio in a much better position to end this Uber. However, Auto does live. They do have a slight play advantage, least position. Zio, Auto even, does go down during this. So now it's protect Mr. President Zio. Make sure no one can get in. There is still a soldier and 2 scouts up here. So there's always an opportunity for things to get started. But they're going to hedge their bets and just kind of take it back onto second on the side of Sammakot, and that's looking like a really, really nice start here for China to the second round.
All right, so again, can just waltz in with this Uber charge alone. Nothing really to contest them or push them. I mean, it's really hard to kind of set up a gotcha past the sticky trap on second point, so I don't blame any of sammakot. Well,
that's a gotcha.
Yeah, that's the gotcha I was talking about, apart from the sticky trap. I'm sure that made for a great audio clip. Please clip it, Twitch.
Yeah, I think it was in just the little pipe. I don't think I've ever seen that trap. Maybe it was on the little pillar. I didn't quite
Ox
make
on
out
top
where
of
it was.
Auto. Can't get the second rocket. Gets the third, though, and Auto, the arrogance. I think he didn't quite have Uber, or maybe he did. Either way, it's still not great that they didn't spot Ox out there.
No, really, really good from him to manage to get a third rocket off there. That's a bit longer to survive than you may expect it, but they did have a sniper off messed up, and maybe that's kind of what killed the donkey there in the end of things. Zero did go down just before Auto there, so Uber's going to be about even here, but that's a big play from Ox to manage to find that kill.
Yeah, you hear that also, you donkey, you.
Whoa, hey. I'm trying to keep good relations here. I didn't say anything about donkeys.
He's going to throw the ETF2L rulebook at you. You need to watch out.
Rule 24.3, you may know...
No animals.
Donkeys.
All right. Ubers are even between both of these teams. It's 0-0. It's 20 minutes left. It's another nail-biter in our midst here, Stephen. I'm kind of shocked to say this is supposed to be one of these teams' map picks.
Yeah, I mean... So far, it's been pretty close, right? But I mean, as we saw on that first map, only going to a 1-0. These teams are super close, and I think this is a map both of them probably reasonably comfortable with overall here. So it's always going to be a bit of a nail biter. And we get to this point in playoffs, and you are playing careful, you are playing safe a lot of the time. You don't want to overextend here. DeRaymond goes in for the bomb, can't find anything, but they're still pressuring, maybe pressuring little too far here, and surely landed dies here, or can he find anything? Scout's so aggressive, so much damage coming out. It's going to be an Uber exchange trying to come through here. Auto does eventually lose here, but they're in such no man's land here. It's going to be so awkward for Zio to try to escape.
Okay, well, they are giga. How on earth did that medic get out? Well, Shio, he does it. He gets out, and he's still being chased. They really are thirsting for this medic kill, and everyone is being thrown just to get in the way of this medic onslaught, and they did it. The only one that went down, believe it or not, was Auto.
Yeah, you were just saying about trying to go for a medic kill, but the only medic kill that ended up coming out was Auto there. So super well played by Zio and company to try to successfully find it all the way out. However, they're back on Snakewater last, and they're already building a sentry gun and a dispenser. So I do not think we're pushing out here.
Sorry, I was just like, why is the lightning fast? Oh yeah, that's an item in TF2, the little one that teleports you back to base. I forgot about that little thing, yeah.
Do you think it's faster to build
I think if he's putting the dispenser all the way there, then yeah.
Yeah, he's not really picking up any ammo from it, is he? So, but it's just, you're used to the Jag and it just building so much faster, that having the Eureka effect, I don't know. It probably is better, to be fair. I think you are probably getting ammo faster, at least on this map, but that's very meta game.
Yeah, I think it's because you're upgrading sentry guns. You never really aspire to build a dispenser, but the dispenser, I think, was the first built item. They just literally slapped it down, put a sentry down as well, and just teleported back. Maybe, I know, I'm kind of spending too much of my brain power here when I should be spending it on this soldier demo man kind of combination kill. They go around, they know exactly where the medic's going to stand, because, I mean, at the end of the day, dispenser is a big fat X of where the medic will be.
Yeah, I find sometimes that's to a detriment of these teams, right? You will just play such in that position, right, that you won't mix things up. Sometimes it's just better to play around the sentry. It's something I saw a lot from the TF2 Easy guys when they were still up and around. They would play their medic in the sentry a lot, and it was super effective, because then you've got to bomb into a sentry. Right, you always have to go directly into it, and it's just going to do more damage that way. But now Uber advantage push does come in from the side of sammakot. They are all just rotating through spawn, but the stickies already getting removed. Can they get any early count time? They cannot. Demo man is sent flying from those stickies as they are finally dead, but they take it aside each. The count time is coming out already. 3/4 cap. Can anyone block it? Soldiers are finally getting onto the point, but is it going to be enough here, or are they going to sneak one through? It's the demo man with the pain train gets the round win, and now that up 1-0 on Sammakot, and I don't expect them to slow down here.
That's a Domo special right there, just rocking the pain train full time, and just you'll get kind of shell shocked about how quickly a Demo Man can just cap off the point and just solidify those last point rounds. And yeah, I think that was just a question mark on Lander. Like, was he putting stickies back on point?
I didn't personally see any in the end here, but we are back to mids. We are back to these double bombs here. It's onto the Demo Man this time. A little less successful. Oh my goodness, they're sending absolutely everything in to try to get auto. Even Lander bombed all the way in. However, it's going to get out here, seemingly. These two scouts are a little bit scared to maybe take this fight on the soldier. Absolutely not. They are auto slightly disconnected. It's the double scattergun, comes in, cleans things up. The auto Pappy combo washed, question mark?
I am just kind of a bit of a question mark on these mids. Obviously, it's very telegraphed what's going to happen. Like, it's happened 3 times in a row now. I think that kind of came down to the fact that Black was not there on the mid. He was on scouting the outer skirts. Usually these sorts of massive grand flank plays work better for defensive teams, because obviously you're playing into the fact that they're staying on their half the map. But you have to commit 2 rockets there just on that sort of mid bomb to kind of catch up and do some damage to his team. And yeah, with all that damage, all that ammo spent, he just fed himself. And obviously he wasn't there for like the first 20 seconds.
We do get our push into last here. Scout, Demo Man, a very usual here. A lot of pressure on the left. Capping and catching auto in spawn here. So this is a really good start here. Auto, manages to get the arrow carry. It's Vanu on point. They bring it up to a 1-1. That was a super good push. Lander just did so much at keeping all those players in spawn and just did so much damage to that heavy. Allowed the rest of his team just to finish things up, and it's Vanu capping it out to bring it back to a 1-1. They've looked super good on these mids. If they don't really mix anything up, they could kind of start running away with it here.
Yeah, they're rotating maybe a little bit too early on all these teams. Now, I think everyone's so used to the formula of like, oh, the sentry goes this side and then we just never hang out there. But you need to give them a little reason to commit into the right-hand side for them then to switch left. It's, again, another play where this time they've actually, oh my god, they've actually adapted to it. The scout's kind of holding down the area, and it went by so quickly. I think I need like a replay of that mid.
Yeah, where's the instant replay when you need it? Yeah, they're going for that left side chunky a lot of the time, and there's not really been anyone there to contest them in previous times. However, this time there was just a scout kind of sitting there, and they didn't really pay attention to him
they
too
didn't
much.
see him. He was hiding in plain
He's a
sight.
secret agent. To be fair, I was on the Zeo cam. I also did not see him until Zeo was dead. So not too surprising, but yeah, well adapted here. They come into last on the side of Sammakot, trying to play with the point earlier. Looks like getting a lot of early cap ton soldier bombs come in, baited maybe a little bit too early here, and now this is going to make things really difficult. Raymond goes down super early here. However, they've just kind of traded sides a little bit. Zeo, I thought, was surely going down to high there, was on the flank, but no, manages to live just for now. It's a final attempt from Pappy, but it's just going to be auto and missed. Hightailing it out of here, and it should be the side of China managing to get up into second, but they have a crit here, not an Uber. It's the Connor special.
Yeah, it was the difference in Demo Man there. Leon did not really switch to the left-hand side as quick as Lander did in the previous bout, so obviously the Demo Man damage wasn't there to really solidify that. A crit comes out now. They're trying to find a soldier kill. They're dogpiling onto the choke area. I don't think everybody quite got the memo about how to deal with the crits in that space and time, and in all the panic of everybody trying to dogpile on top of each other and the dust settles, it's actually gone Sammakot's way.
Yeah, that went really, really tragically there in the end of things. They just played it so far back on the side of Sammakot, and yeah, just auto was in zero danger. They got one pick, and that was it. The last push is coming in. It's from lower. It's on Pappy. Surely this is how they win things out. They have to use so late here. There's no stickies on point. There's so much cap time. Soldier comes in, does get the pick, but the Uber still hasn't ended here. And what can they really do on the rest of the team? It is the Brutus with those laser beams. So much damage here. This Soldier, though, can he get anything? He's looking at Lander. This Scout is also trying to come in. We do lose Lander here. It's all on the heavy here. It's a 2v3. It's only on Zeo. Zeo cannot do enough alone. What a great repush there. Really good heads up play by Pappy to come in and clean up that Demo Man along with his Scout.
there was a lot of things that could have gone wrong for both teams there. I think there was a point where the sentry gun was, by God, was it going building up very slowly. It could have just died to like one shot of anything, but they let it build for so long that it had to actually take a couple of rockets, and that delayed Pappy's output a bit. Fortunately, he kept himself alive, kept himself composed, and allowed himself to re-push back in with his scout and win out the fight at that point.
Yeah, we see a much slower mid happening this time. They don't want to send those double bombs. Obviously, have been a bit of a struggle in that last mid, but they're just kind of looking for space. But actually, I was going to say looking for space. They managed to get Black as a first pick here, so they should be able to start walking in. Pappy goes down as well, so that's both soldiers, and they just have to back out on the side of sammakot here.
Yeah, this is a lot more traditional of a mid that you see. This is why the soldiers kind of get gobbled up a bit too quickly. And early on, very telegraphed, very targeted. They pop off Uber on Xiao, Xiao.
Drops again!
Oh my. Why are they not committing? I thought they would commit for that. They're actually going back, maybe all the respawners scaring them?
Yeah, I mean, you're still 2 players down and your Uber is faded out. It's probably safer and smarter just to try to play on that small advantage that you are going to get. Maybe they just give it up for free on the side of sammakot as well here, as they're already building a gun up on last here.
Vaughn is like, yeah, just having a quick peek and hello. And I don't think they could really hold on to this over on sammakot.
Goes down.
Oh no, this is bad. This is real bad.
Yeah, this is really, really scary now. They
they look at Black.
Oh, this is huge, actually. All they have to deal with is this sentry gun. It is spotted out now as well. They do not have Uber, though.
Yeah, they're not even repaired it either.
Yeah, they tried to take it in anyway. They do manage to take down Sentry, they take down Pappy, they just get on the point, they win it out, they bring it to a 2-2. This is so close!
Oh no, everyone was beefing there. Leon going down, and then obviously Black sticking around for too long. I don't know why they wanted to hold on to second point for so long at that. And Doraemon even got a lot of spam onto that engineer, who then proceeded to get out of spawn for a little bit to try and heal it, but then just seconds himself back. And Pappy, trying to punish Doraemon, ends up overextending, dying to himself. Everyone just save the friend syndrome.
Yeah, we are now on to our 6th mid. Actually, blimey, our 6th mid of the map so far. Things are going by fast. They've got so much high ground control on the side of China here. This is what you usually see, just kind of wins these mids. They get high down early. Soldier Bomb comes in from the side of sammakot. Doesn't manage to get a pick, but is in behind now. This is always a bit worrying. Leon trades out, but what is going on there? Just playing in all directions here, and it's just not really working out for sammakot. They lose pretty much everyone in the process. There's just Black hiding.
sammakot look a bit spooked. Like, they don't really want to take any ground whatsoever. They fear they're going to get punished so hard. Then High, the only one kind of stepping forth, kind of got picked out as the lucky lottery winner to go down and die first. Pappy then finally goes to get that territorial play behind over on health back, and it might have worked out there because he did get in successfully. Someone should have called him, and Zio just kind of strolled in right under Pappy's nose just for him to still not get the medic kill. Hurts the soul.
Looks like we will be having a last push come in here. It's going to be a full 6v6. Spawner did come up here. Have to kind of try to get onto the sentry as they do. A lot of players coming in from this left-hand side. This is what they've been really good at. It's taking a lot of pressure on the left and then just slowly moving that bulldozer over. Demo Man taken down so low. However, the heavy comes out, does enough damage to keep things going here. Now, there's a little bit of a scary fight to keep going. The Uber is forced out here. But Zia, you're in such a dodgy position, but no one able to chase here. So will escape from Africa. Lander loses his life in an attempt to allow his medic to get out, but I don't know how that pick's really going to play things, or let things play here. They look like they want to push here on sammakot.
Things could go back. Oh wait, no, not enough people are in on second. Actually, they're out. So could have maybe held on to second there, go attempt for a refight, but playing it safe. They are 2 rounds apiece on both of these squads, but yeah, that last push maybe just the re-push in for on top of the heavy weapons guy was just a little bit delayed.
Yeah, I think that Heavy just managing to get in through spawn, getting some good position was kind of what won. The repush came in through Saw during all of this, and Zio does have a tiny advantage. How are they going to play this? Yeah, they've just got to try to play point time here. This is probably the best thing to do. They do have the Uber. You need to go for auto, though. He's about to get his Uber. He gets the Uber, manages to flash this Heavy for so long, so you're going to have a 450 Heavy with Uber to contend with here. This is a double scout moment, though. These two scouts going to be able to get in, do so much. The positioning just not good enough in the end for Sammakot, and it's now a 3-2 for China.
Very, very good. With these sort of point play, puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team to not only kind of get the kills out, but keep that point well blocked. And on top of all this, sure, if Auto doesn't want to use his Uber, shoot all of his teammates. Maybe you might be able to get a couple of those teammates down before the Uber even exchanges, and then they just kind of rotated out. The Heavy can't really chase them, and yeah, they picked off all the overextenders.
Yeah, really well played from them overall there. I think keeping that double scout chariot has been really strong for them. As we are now onto the 7th mid of the map overall. It's been a much more hectic one than we saw before. Vanu is our first casualty here. Do trade out for Pappy, but look at the absolute space taken here. It's super, super good. They did take down Auto during all of this to Raymond with a nice bomb in through from the back line. And Zio manages to live, and they actually want to keep pushing this. They don't want to give them mid and let the Swanners come through. There is one flanking through kitchen, was uncalled. Luckily managed to find the positioning, find that little small gap to get Zio through before High can do any damage here. And now they should just take full control of this, be able to get onto second. And what do you do there if you are the side of China? Obviously a round up, 5 minutes remaining. You can chill, but you still have an advantage. Do you want to push it onto second and risk the bombs?
You can push second here. Just you've got the Uber charge. Just take it slow. You know that they're going to do some countermeasures here. Claim your free Pappy kill. Ox is going to make some space in. He is in. Oh my god, they are in! They take out a huge bite out of Sammakot, and yeah, they could probably push straight into last with this. They've got the Uber charge. The sentry gun isn't even going to get involved at this point.
Yeah,
he actually switch on from it. It doesn't do anything.
Way. Wow, these soldiers have been amazing during this game. Their double bombs that they've been doing, where they kind of get that initial damage, usually from Ox, and then DeRayman just comes in and finishes off, have been absolutely massive. And both the soldiers living there from that is absolutely insane. Maybe the positioning on Sammakot just not quite being there, but now they have a bit of a differential to make up here. They need to make up 2 rounds, and with only 4.5 minutes remaining, that's going to be a tall order.
So 2 rounds, yeah, you're right. Very difficult. Let's see what sort of play. Pappy is going to actually go aggressive, and now he has to kind of double back. No time to take territorial play. His territory is being taken, and they switch sides here. I can't believe I said that on a map of Snakewater.
Yeah, I mean, they like this play where they just kind of go in and get Zio.
Oh my god, are they going to get back cap now? They can just run back.
Oh no. Yeah, they have to be really careful with it. And this round's going fast as well here. They really need to just try to get in through Saw and get their way out. Maybe get a trade.
Oh my god, they're getting chased by the rest of Pappy and company from the sawmill area. They have to use Uber, and now they can meet them with this Uber charge. Shio needs to just try and get out, but they're trying to get High past. There's a sentry gun though covering this this medic. They have managed to get in. They do lose miss though in this overextension. Maybe a little bit too greedy, but they're going to rotate round perhaps.
Perhaps, maybe. One looks so good, just went so tragic there. I thought surely they managed to get this medic, but no, not in the end of things. There's a high bomb coming in. Is going to be trying to land on Zio here, but not able to get anything. Will go down in the end. Will Pappy here, but there's still plants versus zombies happening as players are just kind of feeding in slowly but surely. DeRayman managed to get all the way onto Auto, but manages to be okay and live with an arrow. But no, it doesn't matter. Ox is always there to follow up. These soldiers share one brain cell, I think, but this brain cell is working on overdrive.
Poor soldiers. What do they do to you?
They've got a hive mind, they're bees. I don't know what to say. Neither sounds great.
The queen's down.
Yes, I think that's how they're thinking. But no, these bombs have been super good and they've been super reliable for the side of China so far. And now look, they still want to try to keep busting in onto mid. This is an interesting play. They lose 2 instantly, have to back out. Zio does have the Uber if they want to try to go in aggressively onto these oncoming players, or do you want to take the smart play and run back to last? Correct play has been chosen.
The kitchen's too hot for them. They're just like, they do have an uber charge. They probably could take the fights with them, but they're scared. They're like, no, play it safe. But in all this sort of fear gameplay, actually, it's turned around a bit. Vanu seems to always come up with the correct answer to just kind of shut things down, and all this over-aggression, all this sort of snowball effect between the engineers and the heavy weapons guy.
Yeah, Vanu's heavy is also super solid. It's a weird thing to say, but if you like watch his heavy gameplay, he seems to play it really well. He's got very good positioning on the heavy, and seems to kind of know, at least on this map, where to position super well to kind of deny those bombers. And I think that's really, really critical when you're in these sort of scenarios where, you know, they're trying to get in, they're doing absolutely everything they can do to get onto your medic, and what they're going to do is just Uber straight in and try to get onto land. They can't find the shots, can miss here. Uber finally comes out, but it's already faded for Auto. Somehow Mist is going to get out here. Not sure how that really happens, and this does set up for a potential of a repush if they want to from Sammakot here, taking it in through shutters. It's Leon, the Devil Man, in first. Is instantly deleted by Ruad, but rest of the team coming through. Can they find enough picks? Can they find any cap time? A lot coming in from high here. Soldier bombs coming in. They've got to be careful that someone doesn't just stand on the point for a little bit here, but they're cleaning up house slowly but surely. It's just Auto here, and as good as Auto is, he can't win those ones out.
Yeah, mission success. It wasn't about defending the point. I think it was more just making things take a long time. Look at the time. There's 45 seconds left. I think even if they sped run this, it's just not possible.
I mean, Vanu is spy crabbing on the point. This is how happy he is that this game has gone his way here. And do you know what we were saying about the map picks earlier? I think the curse may be true here.
Yeah, people... It's just some strange voodoo in the water, perhaps. But, I mean, this means we get a third map here, Stephen. Are you excited?
I'm always excited for some good TF2. If the games keep going like this, and, you know, they're pretty fast-paced like they have been so far, I mean, I'm quite happy to go to a third map here. However, it is Metalworks, not known to be the fastest map ever.
Yeah, but, I mean, there are some kind of heartbreakers around amongst all these games, and it certainly has been some interesting moments, to say the least. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Shio or Zhao, or however you want to say it, is playing a better medic than Auto is.
Yeah, Auto's had a rough time. I think he's maybe expecting a little too much from his scouts potentially, because I mean, he's
one of those
best,
medics,
right?
huh? Like, if I drop this, my scouts have failed me.
Well, he's like, surely this soldier can't reload 2 rockets on me, right? I mean, if Tomas was there, that guy's dead after 1, right? But having to readjust to Mist, maybe struggling a little bit here. I think I've spotted him at least 2 times where a soldier has gotten in, managed to get at least 1 rocket reload, and then he just drops that Uber, and I think that's maybe a big differentiator that I've seen so far. But yeah, I mean, Zero's just been super solid on the rest of the map as well.
I do hope Auto or anybody on that team is not whispering in the ears of these scouts like, "Psst, Tomas would have done that. Tomas would have saved that." Because you know, they can't. You know, it's hard to kind of expect scouts at this level to kind of replicate that.
Yeah, I mean, there is just such a jump between Tomas and a Divron scout, the best scout of all time. It's hard to live up to. But no, I'm sure he's not saying that, but I think, you know, maybe has a bit of that false confidence.
Oh my god, he's got top damage again. He lost the video game. How does he keep getting away with it?
He's just better. He did get 25% heals once more though. So somehow, even on Snakewater, he's top healed, but maybe that's the correct decision when you have Pappy in the server.
What else can we dissect from it? Good God, look at the depth difference between Auto and I mean, I did highlight it, but I didn't know the stats would back me up this hard.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I didn't expect Auto to die 12 times. I knew he died in more, but not 4 times the amount. That's crazy.
All these mids, and I guess the mids have been very aggressive, and when they haven't been very aggressive, they've... I don't know. We need to roll back the tape, I guess. Also, Auto, shamefully, I would say a lot of these, or a few of these at least, are him just not wanting to pop Uber.
Yeah, I mean, it was only one drop during all that, so I guess one time where I thought it was Uber, maybe it was just really close to him getting.
Fair enough.
But the only stat that matters is he's got a higher kill death ratio, 0.5 compared to a 0. So getting those 6 kills on medic, maybe he's just trying to play battle medic for a season.
Yeah, a lot of crossbows across the map as well. Very impactful. Like only medic has that sort of long range weaponry to kind of commit in, and he's actually taking advantages. This isn't some shenanigans with a bust.
I mean,
all the time,
it's just the worst huntsman, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, nothing strikes snipers fear on product than like a medic that keeps spamming their crossbow into China.
Oh, you gotta be careful with that though, because the snipers at this level probably going to hit the headshot on you if you are hitting that sight line.
Yeah. Plus,
so consistently.
If you're on the team of that medic, you're like, stop using that crossbow on the sniper and heal me.
Yeah, but if the sniper's out of the game, I think you'd be happy for it. Overall, luckily, we're not going to have to see a product sniper ordeal going on here, as our final map is going to be Metalworks here, known to be a lot of a slower map. Obviously, this is the map that was left over after all, so these teams feeling quite neutral about it. I feel like this happens quite a lot, where the final map is Metalworks. I feel like neither team, no teams are like, I want to play Metalworks, so I'm going to pick it during the season, but I don't hate it that much.
I think teams forget Metalworks is in the map pool. I think when they're like banning all these maps out, they kind of have to literally go, oh yeah, Metalworks, hey there, little buddy, where did you come from? I thought you were like Logjam or something.
Yeah, a long time no see, but I mean, the side of China have not played it at all this season, and obviously, as we near the end of the season, scrims are going to be more difficult to come by, so might have a more difficult time. Doesn't look like Sammakot have played it either. They played a lot of Granary, but they have not played a single round of Metalworks. So this might be a bit of a shaky Metalworks, as neither of these teams really had too much time to prepare, it would seem.
The absolutely flaming hot question I have to ask these two teams, and I don't know if we can even predict the answer, is do the roamers do the jump? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, what, the Brugesman jump?
The Brugesman jump. Yeah, the one that just kind of launches forward like whatever, man.
Is very, very powerful. And I mean, it's great to bring out because every team that now plays against Brugesman knows about the jump and will always play accordingly around it, right? But like, you don't expect it for any of these other teams, right? And then it's how can you adapt on the fly to that? So yeah, I'd like to see it happen, but I don't know. I don't know any of these soldiers that I've seen try to put it out. Maybe Pappy, smart player, he might think, I want to pull this out. But he's a pocket soldier, he wouldn't even do it. I'm trying to figure it out, but I think it might be a no. I think it might be a boring standard Metalworks with double bombs from Batman or something.
I was gonna say, do any of these players strike you as a jumper main? Does Black and Doraemon give off that energy?
Doraemon, he's a pretty solid jumper. Overall, I think he could hit the Brugesman jump, but has he practiced it? Right? It's a jump only one player seems to do.
This is where you look at the pre-game. You start watching the povs. Are they practicing jumps or are they just mindlessly DMing? Who's off-classing on pyro?
Yeah, that would be Zio having more fun than just playing medic in pre-game. Yeah, no, not really going for those jumps early is Doraemon. So maybe we see it from Black though. You never know. The first mid will tell that tale though. But just what would you say is the big advantage of doing that jump and putting all that huge pressure onto the Demo Man early?
Demo Man died. Mid loss is the caveman way I would say it.
I mean, does it have to be lost if your soldiers just double bomb and manage to kill the entire team?
Okay, well, what if everybody just dies on the enemy? Well, of course, yeah, like, you know, put up a crazy scenario and all this stuff. It's mainly kind of like a checkbox. It feels pretty good once you get the jump in and what is the Demo Man realistically supposed to do. It's one of those classes as well where if you hug that close to the Demo Man, he's doing damage to himself and he's arriving to these mids already hot and tagged and whatnot. So even with a soldier going down in these sort of instances where the Demo Man survives, the Demo Man's so tagged he just gets punched by a scout and he's dead.
Yeah, there's not much chance you really live from there, and I think you are right. As soon as that demo man dies, especially on mids, you just kind of peace out, right? You're like, okay, it's so risky for us to stay in here. We're likely that we're going to be able to get a hold onto second, and just kind of even things out a little bit, kind of slow it down and keep playing that way. So yeah, I mean, you're definitely right that's why it's the advantage, right? But I mean, other than that, what do we commonly see on Metaworks? It's just usually a lot of the time those super high bombs, right? But then they're countered by playing very passive, going into Valley, managing to serve things out, and also is a bit of a professional at that. Obviously, was struggling a little bit on Snakewater, but I don't think that same sort of mid methodology that we saw from China is kind of going to work on this map where they charioted their med over one side. I think you go over left side, you're just going to meet the entire team. You go over right side, your position's just not that great. Maybe you get into house, but then you're kind of just rotating, and I don't know if it's actually that good.
And also, this is one of those maps as well where I feel like a Demo Man has a lot of impact. He can shut down certain doorways, and it feels very oppressive. So I've seen some Demo Men when they rock up pretty quickly and they've got that main door. Are you in the airport right now?
Am I in the airport? No. Oh, that's just a plane. That's what you get from living.
Oh, that's just the plane. Is that what happens at the airport?
Yeah, there is a flight path directly over my house. I've closed the window now.
Hear Auto, he's flying in Ixie right now.
Trying to get someone to save his series here.
All right, okay. The dreams are being made. I'll focus the conversation back. Sorry, that's my fault. I ricocheted that off. Anyway, whiplash aside from the airplane, the Demo Man has a lot of say on these doors. The doors are like plant a sticky right in the middle of it. You feel uncomfortable crossing that one doorway. There's no real way to kind of weasel around that.
Yeah, it just gives a huge advantage your positioning, right, for your own team if the Demo Man's not allowed to do that on their team as well. That's why you see, especially this map, I think, having that fast Demo Man rollout can really matter here. But we'll see which Demo Man can roll out first as we are onto our final map of this upper bracket semi-finals. The winner of this going straight into that grand finals for all the beans here as we are approaching this first mid. Why don't you take us away?
I mean, it is the upper bracket final, but yeah, I mean, like, no semi about it. Let's see what sort of gameplay they can bring. They've already holding their health pack. I don't think there's only one health pack on that side there, China, but they're all kind of high-fiving around that area. And yeah, just kind of playing things very cool, very calm, very collected. And Pappy taking the scenic route, went all the way around, and he just volleyballs him up, and they spike him down with the scout.
Yeah, I mean, they saw him bomb over as well, so I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go for a reactive play to kind of send someone behind here. Silver lining of all this, they got a couple of picks, but Auto just sitting pretty with two scouts, absolutely no problems for him. Now there will be a full wipe on the side of China. They're sent all the way back to last here. Now they've got to try to set up, and Metaworks last, obviously a challenge to get into, but is it going to be one too many for sammakot here?
All right, so you got a full Uber advantage and obviously plenty of setup time for the rest of China. So isn't it interesting to see who's cooking and who's cooking the spicier sort of defense or offense? So the first real test of this game.
I mean, Ox has become the lamp. That's a pretty good start to things here. Obviously, it's pretty risky, but they haven't spotted him so far. Zio being chased super deep, didn't go into spawn here, and they've rotated around super well. They're getting so many picks here, and there's still just a soldier sat up there. There's no one alive. You have to kill something. He gets the bomb in, but doesn't do enough damage here, and now they clean everything up on the side of sammakot, and they take a convincing first round there, Turbo.
Well, I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed. Like that bomb from Lamp was not. He just got a good view of his team getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, I feel like he could have done.
He didn't even sync up the rockets. I think he only hit one rocket, cratered, and then that rocket got absorbed by a scout, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, it was very unsuccessful. I don't think we'll be seeing that again this time. Interesting to see one Demo Man playing height, one playing Valley here. They seem to really like just playing this side on the right side, kind of similar to how it was on Snakewater, but look at how much Zio is just getting bullied by these stickies being put in main here. Does finally manage to rotate round, but it's a little bit scary as her health is so low here. Eventually taken down by a nice rocket from Black here, and they just look lost on this mid to poor China.
Yeah, they just look like they're getting flanked and engulfed by the red team ever so slowly as they creep in on this point, and they literally have their back to the wall and no way to get out. And I don't know their mindset about this kind of crater hold. The crate hold, it just doesn't really sit well with me. And to be honest, I haven't really seen that much, and I watch a lot of TF2.
Yeah, I mean, what you like to do is kind of get your soldiers in behind, but they need to be a lot quicker if they want to do that. I think they just want to kind of rotate in round through their house, do something similar to what they did on Snakewater, but there's no distraction of those bombs. However, sammakot already moving in onto last, early pick onto Raymond here. No real pressure, that's heavy. It's so out in the open, he is taken down. They need to take down the sentry gun. They finally do here, but this isn't going to matter too much. Zero nowhere near Uber, already 2 players down here. They can start walking things forward here. Actually, there's no Ubers for either side, but Mist is just getting absolutely pocketed by Auto. A lot of cap time coming out, no one able to get into point here, and they will take that 2-0 in 4 minutes here.
The execution of plans is just going down so much more masterfully here. It's almost like the presence of a very, very good TF2 leadership.
I wonder. They definitely need to mix things up here on China, right? They've seen this mid isn't working, but their double ball aggression was working so well for them before. I would be surprised if we don't see a mix up, and we do see Lander on this top left. He's kind of getting destroyed a little bit here by Leon. Bombs do come in aggressive. It is Leon the first to go down. Can Ox find anything else? He is surviving a long time. Nice plants come in from Lander. Auto in a bit of an awkward situation, but is managing to live for now here. They need to be a little bit careful. No, they're fine. They're chilling. It's just 6 scouts. Surely he can't get anything.
Oh man. No. That was one of those mids where your soldier is bargaining with your own team, just like, please, come help me, I'm on the other side. And they're like, I don't know, dude, they're right there. And they're like, please, please. They finally come in 10 seconds later, but it's 10 seconds too late, and they go down.
Yeah, they're not playing this as well as they have done on the previous 2 maps. Even they looked very solid on Granary, but they don't seem to have that same type of composure on this map.
They don't look practiced on this map, or at least they have ideas about this map, and they have not really been tested as stressfully as other maps have.
Yeah, I think you're probably right here. It's the Uber is coming in from this left-hand side. There's a pyro blocking it though. Yeah, he does eventually go down. Doesn't get as much spam as he'd maybe hoped to. Early cat time coming out. There's not soldiers watching it. Big bombs come in from the soldiers. They do manage to take down Mist, but trade both their lives for it. Can this heavy weapons guy do enough? Doesn't look like it. It's just kind of Lander versus the world here, and they decide to just nuke Lander the world. Or maybe it's just a meteorite comes smashing down onto his face, as it's now a 3-0 in 6 minutes. It's 2 minutes around. It couldn't get much faster if you tried.
Yeah, the pyro doesn't really do too well or too hot nowadays, just because losing one player is very impactful. Even just at the start of these sorts of little fights, you can get a lot of life out of these one scouts rotating between all their classes and coming back and forth, rotating around the spawns, and just giving a pyro like that, not really kosher.
Yeah, and we look onto this mid, and it's looking pretty good for China. They've taken a lot of space. That demo man manages to lock things out super well, and they are now trying to battle things back, but as long as they play well around Zio here, it should be a 1 mid, and it does look like it should be 1 soldier trying to get something happening. Also taken down dangerously low to 30 HP at the very end there with a lovely sticky from Land. It doesn't look like they'll be able to find any follow-up damage, however, but should secure themselves second, or at least a lot of pressure onto it. Pappy, he's out spamming here, and maybe this is how Pappy does his damage. He just does all this spam. He's coming in for a bomb. It's high. It's on top of Zio. Can he find the shot? Does find the force. That's some respect to Pappy there. Holy.
Yeah, and this should give a bit of breathing room to the rest of sammakot now, as they actually push back out to maybe delay the second point. They've got the Uber. Can they block it, though? They don't need the Uber. They're actually feeling confident enough with the scout to just maneuver in and get the soldier pick. And, I mean, yeah, there's no real backcaps that could happen during all of this.
No, they've kind of accounted for all the positions of the players here. So gonna take mid and going to just be all the way back onto
Are they
second.
denying that soldier? They've denied that soldier, that forward respawn. That's a little annoying.
A little bit here, but they're likely going to have to back out here.
Hello? Is that
only
a
on
pause?
66% Uber. Oh, that is an unfortunate pause. How much have we got to yap about the current state of the game, other than it is not going the way of China?
No, I mean, we can make educated guesses when they make this pause, but let's not spoil things. Yeah, I'm more than believing that this is a tactical pause made out by China. They're having a good talk. They're figuring things out. And, let's join them in the spirit here, Stephen, and say what's going good, what's going bad.
What's going good? I mean, that mid was good. They definitely have learned and adapted. The mid was super, super solid. However, they were just kind of struggling to, I don't know, just watch for that potential reek a bit, I think. And then they stayed too long, I think was the big thing. They got overextended into lobby. That soldier died trying to cap the point, which it didn't really matter if you cap the point. It's nice to have the forward spawn, but you know you're losing mid anyway because you don't have enough players to hold second. You know they have full Uber pushing into mid, so you might as well just leave and have enough spam on second here. Obviously, they do have the spawners up now, but it was definitely the more risky play. And either way, they're gonna have to kind of leave here. But I think they've just looked super good in positioning on the side of sammakot. I think obviously a lovely bomb from Pappy to come in and get the force. A lot of respect coming out because that air shot was nowhere near hitting, and Pappy was definitely died, but maybe just a bit of a jump scare that I've never seen someone do that, jump in from lower and bomb me from there.
Yeah, it's
kind of thing.
It's very clean. I think a lot of players and teams would agree with you that once you kind of get the shutter door under control and that lobby area secure, you're not really expecting jumpers to come out, or at least have that much impact, not have it be telegraphed. But no, good array of jumps to kind of come in. Maybe they should have seen this coming a bit more, but the only one to really defend off a soldier from there, at least from where Scout can help or anything, is maybe not even get a Scout to help, get a demo man involved and just start like blocking with mid-air stickies. Anyway, the Uber comes in now.
It does come in, doesn't find any picks as of yet. However, this Scout will go down. That is Ruad becoming the first victim of this Uber here. They do have 100% advantage. They look like they want to push it here on the side of China. It's going to be a little bit risky as there is a soldier on one side, the rest of the combo on the other, and they're just struggling to get through this one doorway. This is the big thing about Metalworks, is this second doorway is just so difficult to actually get through. There's stickies absolutely everywhere. Ox going down. I think that's them back. They do trade out for Pappy. Luckily, no, they're staying forward. They think that's enough of a pick here. I think maybe they're just looking for a soldier pick to try to get things started. Well, they should be aware of these stickies as well, but no, they're chilling. They managed to get through. Some patience is all it took.
It's a betting game at that point. So the enemy team uses their Uber charge into second point. If it goes well, you can probably snowball the kills into last. Even if they do have their Uber charge and they have so many people down, they don't dare push out. But in those sort of situations, you give the choice of China, do you use your Uber out aggressively? If it goes wrong and it goes badly, you could lose the round from that point. It's very conceivable to lose players there in an overextension. So you can see the nervous play of like, I know we're supposed to hold on to the second point, but I really don't want to use my Uber, even though you have every right to kind of use it aggressively there.
Yeah, I think it's probably better just to save it there and just get in for free, because it is such a wrecked. High bombs come in here. It is going to be Black committing onto this soldier. Doesn't really find anything. Nice Harry from Auto to keep him nice and healthy as he lands. Was maybe just kind of scoping out the positioning here, as they are taking a lot of Valley aggression here. Both soldiers really ready to bomb here, as it could be an absolute mega super duper bomb. Pappy comes in deep, is landing onto Lander. Can't find the kill in the end. Black doesn't get in deep enough to follow up on anything, and now will just be the single sack. Here's China looking to try to pressure out a little bit, see what they can do to try to get their way back into this game. This is definitely how they need to play. 20 minutes remaining, and you need to get a minimum of 3 rounds, and you want to get more, so going to be looking to try to find some space for a sack here, get some damage onto water, and then send a soldier in is probably their play.
Well, this is a lot of time, at least, in FPS land to make these rounds back. I mean, if you squint your eyes a little bit, you could pretend this is like the Banny round setup here. It's like this is the round trend setter now. They have to just win all their rounds from henceforth. Don't lose any more, otherwise the game's over.
Oh, I do like that. I think it would be interesting to see that in. However, the interesting thing right now is the soldier bombs coming in. They both kind of commit to get a lot of space on this left-hand side here. No picks onto that soldier. That's usually what you're trying to get. During that is that pick onto an over-aggressive soldier, so it means you can send someone behind, or there's just one small little bit of space that you can pretty much take for absolute free, and that pressure will eventually overwhelm. The soldier bombs are in once again here. They're going for the exact same thing here. It's a bit more committed this time, however Black will lose his life, and we are on the merry-go-round here, and we are going to see the same kind of plays again, where they're kind of getting space into this valley on China and be looking for a counter-sack.
Yep, backing up into their positions. Oh, nice trap. That is a one hell of a trap that I never even caught my eyes on myself. And some spam onto the medic, and Zio will pop off the Uber charge during all that pressure, and they use them with kind over on Auto and company. But 1 second, we've got to shut a door. This Uber charge is now null and void.
Yep, and they've even managed to cap up second from this, but it resets things a little bit, right? It gives them a little bit of time to kind of decide what they want to do, get that engineer set up. It means, they can't instantly try to push in or instantly go for those stacks. They do have to build up this Uber charge here now. But Sammakot, they can now just kind of play this pretty chill, pretty relaxed. They don't have to go for any crazy plays. They can just kind of peek and prod, see where they're playing, and they kind of send soldier bombs in that way here. I don't expect them to really do anything but kind of drain this clock as much as humanly possible, right?
This last point has not gone well for China. They haven't quite cracked it as well as like the other previous lasts. Sorry, it's always funny to see that engineer wrench kind of zap off. Leon jumping in. They're doing that soldier Demoman jump that they like to do. It worked a little bit on Snakewater, but didn't quite work this time because Zio was just out shopping in the respawn.
Yeah, I think that's a play we see more and more, just that many playing super passive. Do get the sentry gun down, but losing 3 players is going to give the incentive towards China to kind of push out onto this second point, and I would say successfully, at least so far here. They have managed to take all of this space here, and now you can take a sigh of relief as you're off of your last, you're back onto second. These soldier bombs now going to be looking like they maybe want to come in from either under or through valley. It is going to be a high bomb from Pappy. See where he lands.
Oh,
he lands on
medic out of position.
Oh, that second rocket might have sent Zio cratering. I think that was the right decision to use there. But another kind of respectful pop out in the end. But yeah, pop it, don't drop it.
In all the stress that they must take to push out to second, this team forgets that there's only really one tried and true way to bust it over and over again on the second point, and that's just sending those double soldiers around, using the high wall. And I mean, they were literally doing it a couple of moments ago, so I don't know why they seem so shocked when they try it again on the second point.
Yeah, I mean, Zio just slightly caught out of position. That's all it really takes, right? Is those kind of tiny mistakes that make the biggest difference here. And they definitely showed that as Uber's coming in from Sammakot. Is going to be through that left-hand door once more. Soldiers living a little longer this time are going to be able to do a little bit more disruption here from both of them. And it's even an Uber out here. So they'll be okay. Auto goes down during all of this as well here. So now China, surely they push it out. Black is under. They've got to be a little bit careful of a potential back cap, actually.
Yeah, Leon really just kind of went into the doorway. We expected his life to kind of be forfeit. And now, what is the play? As they did lose Auto, that was not the plan in going in for that Uber. And I don't think everybody's quite got a plan over on Sammakot.
Sammakot?
Oh wait, sorry. Sammakot, whoopsie.
But they are now continuing the push here on China. They want to keep things going. High bomb is coming in. They need to be aware of this. He does look like he fades in the end. And they're picking up a valiant defense on the side of Sammakot here. Good dodges from both medics. However, might this be too much for Zio? It is. They got too focused on Leon, and the scout of High just got in and managed to get that crucial pick.
Yeah, they do try and throw Doraemon in to maybe get the life of Auto. Doesn't work out, however, and Ubercharge now in the back pocket. It just puts a shunt through all the momentum they had to kind of turn this round around. And 40 minutes left is still a long time, but it was 20 minutes just a second ago, it feels like.
Yeah, the clock is ticking down faster and faster, and you know, you're only incentivized to kind of slow down more and more if you are the side of sammakot here. And look what they're doing, they're just taking this so slow, so methodical, they're just letting Auto arrow things up while the rest of the team takes a little bit of space, gets those picks slowly but surely. Vanu is down as a first casualty, followed closely by Ox, and even Lander going down. Here comes the force play, finally comes out, but is it too little, too late, as they've lost so many players? Surely they also get second off of this.
Yeah, if they didn't get that force there, this would have been absolutely disastrous. I don't think everybody was on the same page about what they want to do. Obviously, some people looked like an absolute free kill, and they wanted to commit for those sort of things. And then some were just like opting to stay in the fight for these mids. Some wanted to just back out. It was very diluted, that defense. And now they pop off Uber, trying to contest the second point, but they take the scout taxi out, and Auto is now back to an advantage.
Yeah, there's a flank all the way behind in high, making an absolute nuisance of things. Actually, there's flankers here, there, and everywhere. I'm not going to watch. I'm going to watch the main fight here, as it is China trying to push things through here. A couple of players not with them, but so much spam onto Auto. It lives on 19 HP. Had to be really careful there. Nice pipe onto Leon by Lander. This is a really nice start to their repush in here, but they got to be careful. Auto coming up on the Uber now. Zio only on 40%. They need to kind of leave here. Oh, but there's one behind. He's really sneaky. Manages to get the kill. Just rule out that shoot here. High going down, keeping their medic alive, keeping them in the game just for that little bit longer. But they're still coming in. This is so difficult to stay alive, and eventually will die to Pappy here. So tragic. They played that so well to try to get out, but eventually the flankers just come in and just overwhelm them.
Yeah, I think they just forgot that Auto had a bit of advantage there, and they could just use the Uber charge and take the fight in. Maybe they thought things were spread a little bit thin, or they were going to maybe completely wait out what High was going to do. But the fact that High was just at the back at all was just a grand opportunity to use that Uber charge, have them have two headaches instead of one.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think that scout slowing them down in lobby is what made things work, because if that medic leaves with full scout speed into shutters, there's no way that Pappy caught that kill. However, he managed to, because they were slowed down here. Uber comes in from this left side again, has been pretty good the last couple of pushes here, however, dropping I thought it dropped a player, did not drop a player, they just capped the point. What am I saying? It's far too easy for them when they're just stuck in spawn here. And now it's a 4-0, and this is very, very difficult. It's we're verging on the edge of possibility now for China to kind of come back into this one.
Yeah, they just have a question mark a little bit on the last defenses. I don't think they quite know the beats of how to make these last convert against a disad. Maybe it is just so much harder on a Metalworks map compared to the lasts.
I mean, it definitely is, but they're, you know, if their soldiers play a little more aggressively and shut down those doors, it's more likely to happen. Double bombs coming in from all teams. It's just an absolute cluster of a fight, absolute here, there, and everywhere. I think it'll really be on these soldiers in the post, see what they can do. Zero does go down to a nice rocket from Black in the end. However, Auto was traded out during all this. Vanu picking up the last couple of picks on a 4K during this, so he had a good mid. Unfortunately, could not let his med live much longer, so we'll struggle to take this all the way to last. However, they should maybe be able to get second here if they're quick.
There's a Kritzkrieg pulled out by Zio, so this could be interesting to say the least. Although I feel like that gun, I have opinions of that gun. I'll stop mentioning them, but let's see how it plays out. They're already in on second, and Zio is brought down very low, but I guess in the juicy bait has brought out players to overextend a bit. We're losing our head quite a bit on the side of sammakot. I had to check the name there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a risky play, right? I think that's how you can
Oh,
characterize
no, it's
that.
not over. We've got a crit screen. Need
Yeah,
I
they're coming
remind you?
straight in through this left side.
Laser
On the scout.
beams.
This could be absolutely huge if they can hit. There's shots here. Can they hit anything? They take down Black, but is that all she wrote for things? And it does seem to. As Raymond loses his life, Zero's in so deep. There's no pressure onto the medic at all here. This is absolutely tragic.
Okay, I'm kind of shocked that the team with 2 combat classes left. They kind of took a Y split. The one with the splash damage left. He didn't want to be part of the crits. I mean, yeah, I guess laser beams are quite direct and shocking, but imagine a rocket, a crit rocket there on all those respawners.
I think that's always a hard decision to make. Right, do you take it on that soldier or that scout? Because that scout with 3 times damage is just so threatening. But I think it's more so if you're pushing like a second point, whereas at last, you have to...
From the door?
Yeah, maybe not from the door. Maybe you at least take that
what
first
does
initial
one
splash
crit
rocket.
pellet do? Like 30 damage?
Well, it depends the distance. 3 times whatever they do anyway, and scouts just seem to be doing hundreds of damage.
Yeah, but the shotgun
time.
pellets spread, don't they? Like, okay, I'm over it. I'm past it. I'm angry, but I'm over. Another crits is going to be coming out. Zeo can't really do much about it. Actually, okay, pop off the crits and then enable your scout to be super protecty, but they just used the Uber charge during all this chaos. I don't think that's because of the crits. I think that was just because of a good old-fashioned skirmish happening in the lobby area, and now people are overextending themselves. They're not doing the head count over on the side of China.
Well, they've managed to get a lot of good positioning early here, to be fair. Lander taking this space on the high ground is being really impressive. They need to be careful of these respawners coming in now, though. Yeah, and look at this. They're already having to back things out. Now, Zero in the death corner instantly gets double bombed, and they clean up. Black and Pappy absolutely having a field day here. And now it's just this one scout in behind this one last little rat for them to deal with. He manages to get missed, actually. Ruad having a good couple lives there. Did a lot on that sniper as well before, which we didn't manage to highlight in the end of things. It will be a bomb to try to come onto Auto, but he's been here before. He doesn't die to those, lives on full HP. And now look at this, 80% on the Uber for sammakot already, and they're going to be wanting to take this into last quick time.
Yeah, he's just keeping eyes on them, seeing what traps and shenanigans they're up to, and Pappy waiting for the rest of his team to get buffed up, ready to push in. 100% Uber charge. I don't think there's anything extraordinary to happen. They just need to pop from the same place as ever, and that's what's going to happen. The Pyro, this is either goes big or goes home, and yeah, where's that airplane when you need it?
He kind of did what he was meant to do there, though. He really made a lot more time than he has previously. The whole Uber was used to chase him, but it doesn't matter when these soldiers get in through the door for free. They take it 5-0, and yeah, that was an absolute slam dunk of a game compared to the rest of the series there for sammakot, and they will be going into that grand finals to play it out. However, it's not over for the side of China. They do still get to go to that last result, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So they'll be playing off against Alien Workshop, I think. Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm probably right. Yeah, that has to be right, yes. So Alien would be playing off against China to see who gets to fight off against sammakot. So, yeah. Be interesting.
I feel like we might see a rematch. I'm not going to lie to you. I think China, they've looked super solid all through this season, and I wouldn't expect things to change. Change now.
They have hope in their hearts. The first 2 maps, super close. Super close. Obviously, this looks like a big, massive question mark, exclamation mark, just any sort of black mark against this team. So maybe even think about banning this map, as it just looks pretty hopeless, honestly. Like, it looked really bad on many regard. The only thing that was tidy was maybe the adjustments on mid.
Yeah, that's the only time they kind of looked what comfortable, right? I think the rest of the time they were lost. They were so lost. But yeah, I think maybe just had the confidence that neither of these teams had played Metalwork, so maybe it will go in their favor. That's kind of what it is occasionally on that third map pick, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for China here. But we'll see what they can do in that last final game before the Grand. See if they can make it against Early and Workshop, and see who will face Sammakot in that all-important Grand Finals for the prestigious Div 1 win. I'm sure that Pappy and Auto are very much looking forward to getting that medal.
And look, on the bright side already, Pappy doesn't have the most damage on this, so it's actually going to high. All that fighting in the background does pave its way to top damage billing, despite the 26% of heals.
I guess not all games overall, but yeah, I think High had a good game. I think it was just rough for Zio. It was kind of the opposite of what we saw last game in terms of deaths, where Zio just died so much more than Auto. Auto only dying a few times, 3 times is just absolutely nothing there. And I think maybe that's the biggest difference maker in this game.
Yeah, just a bit of few hiccups on second, and one big belch on last that they need to address. And who knows, maybe they can introduce this map back in. But I think there's not enough time, I think, in these playoff section to start looking at it now. I think they just need to bat it out and then just bring out another map onto the 4A.
Yeah, with such a short amount of time, it's going to be difficult, because I think a lot of their mistakes feel quite fundamental on Metalworks last, or why it's not working. So we'll see, but I expect it to be a ban if it does go to these teams playing once again in those finals.
All right, Stephen. At the very start of our day, around 4 o'clock or something in UK time, you started off our stream in this massive double bill of playoffs that we ended up casting somehow. You close us out here. Yeah,
so big thank you to just everyone, obviously for helping out. Thank you to turning up last minute here, Turbo and Samus, and making this cast happen. I'm sure everyone will be very happy to see it casted in the end. Obviously, we are on a bit of a delayed schedule here, but yeah, GG's for the games, and I hope and look forward to some close finals coming up here for these Div 1 and Div 2 games. Goodbye for now.